Hello everybody, it's Kasera, and today I'm going to be doing my audiobook guide for beginners part 2, where to get audiobooks, or specifically where I get my audiobooks. So when it comes to audiobooks, I don't like paying for them. I like getting them for free. So my biggest place that I get my audiobooks is from the library. And there are two ways in which I get my audiobooks from the library. So first of all, you're gonna need a library card. So my local library is actually not very good. It has a very small selection and it only lets me check out 5 books at a time and only place a hold on 10 books. But where my parents live, their library has a very wide selection and lets me check out 30 books and place holds on 40 books. So I actually use their library. So if you're in an area that doesn't have a very good library, consider looking at the surrounding counties, because a lot of times they'll allow you to get a free library card in nearby counties as long as you already have a library card at your local county. So definitely look into that, because getting books from the library is awesome because it's completely free. Some libraries also do have an option to buy a membership for people who are far away from that library. A lot of times those are some of the widest variety libraries out there. So that's also an option to look into for the libraries. So all of the apps that I'm going to mention allows you to download the audiobooks to your phone so you can listen to them without an internet connection. Also, it lets you change the speed of the audiobook. It lets you also check a sleep timer on the audiobooks. The first way that I get my audiobooks from the library is through the Libby app. I love the Libby app. Not only are all the audiobooks free, I personally love the Libby interface, and it's very easy to use and it's free, so I love using it. The app that I use occasionally is the Hoopla app. So Hoopla is also through Libby, and one thing that's really great about Hoopla is that they have an Amazon Echo skill in it, so my Echo can actually read the audiobooks for me, which I love because it's a lot louder than my phone if I'm just walking around the house. Hoopla is a little different than Libby because you don't have to place holds the way you would at a regular library. They have a selection of books, and through your library card, you can borrow a certain number per month. So with my library, they let me borrow 12 per month from that selection of books. That being said, the Hoopla selection of books is not very wide, so I really love it because I don't always have to wait for books, but a lot of times they don't have the books that I want, and I don't necessarily want to wait for the books that I have placed on hold in the Libby app, which is where I come to Scribe. I love Scribe. Scribe is a paid subscription. It's $8.99 a month, and they say you can have unlimited audiobooks, ebooks, and script music and different things that they have on their website. Personally, I just use the audiobooks. I don't need any of the other stuff. I don't really like their app for ebooks. It just annoys me to read on because I have a Kindle and I prefer to read it on my Kindle. And I don't particularly like ebooks anyway, so if I read ebooks, it'll be through the Libby app from my library because, again, free. But I love the audiobooks on Scribe. They have a very wide selection, not the biggest selection, but a very wide selection, and you can get the audiobooks immediately. You don't have to wait for them. The only thing I would say about Scribe is that it's not unlimited the way they say it is. I found that I can listen to between 4 and 6 audiobooks a month based on the audiobook, but that's still plenty for only $8.99. Also, just to be clear, with Scribe, you are not buying the actual audiobook that you're listening to. You will have access to it as long as you subscribe to Scribe, but you will not have access to it if you suspend or cancel your membership. And the last place that I get audiobooks is, of course, Audible. So there are 2 different levels of membership in Audible. There's the Gold membership. You'll get 1 credit per month and 30% off the regular titles. Or there's the Platinum membership, which is $22.95, and you get 2 Audible credits plus 30% off of any other title. 1 Audible credit can be used to buy any audiobook in their selection, and they have probably the biggest selection that I have seen. I love Audible for that reason. And the other thing about Audible is that you are actually buying the books. So if you cancel your subscription, you can still access your book and listen to that audiobook, even if you no longer have an Audible subscription. And also, they sometimes run deals where you can pick 2 audiobooks with 1 credit. So when it comes to actually buying audiobooks, I only buy them from Audible rather than any of the other services where you would have to pay full price for the audiobook. That being said, I don't use Audible that often, and generally I only use it for audiobooks that I know I'm going to reread over and over again. So for example, last month I bought the Harry Potter series on Audible because I had a bunch of extra credits that I hadn't used in a while, and I like listening to those as I'm falling asleep at night. And they're a good one to listen to when I'm falling asleep at night because I'm not going to miss anything because I've read them before. But other than that, that's the only time I use Audible. There are, of course, many other ways to get audiobooks, including buying the actual audiobook through iTunes or Nook, or even buying the actual CDs of the audiobook. But I personally prefer to borrow them from the library because it is free, and generally I don't reread audiobooks the way I do with physical books. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you haven't yet seen part 1 of this mini-series, I will link it down below, and part 3 will be coming soon, which will also be linked down below. I post videos every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, so consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!